Hey, everybody, and welcome to my boy mom toolbox. We call it that because our boys are rough and tumble, but if I'm being completely honest, my daughter is just as rough and tumble as my son is. So if you are a girl mom or a mom of both like me, please still tune into this because it is going to be so good for you to watch either way. Tons of education on how to support your children with your little mom toolbox naturally. So I'm going to share some slides with you guys. And then if you are not already a Young Living member, I'm going to explain how you can do that through whoever invited you to this class. Let's see. Share my screen for you guys. And get it on to this. Let's see. All right, there it goes now. Lisa, if you'll give me a thumbs up if you guys can see it. Okay, I'm going to click present. Good. Okay, perfect. So boy mom toolbox. And like I said, don't worry if you have a girl. All of our kids are just, rough and tumble. So this applies to all mamas, but my son seems to need my emergency medical kit more than anything else. So, first off, this is such a lifesaver for me is having something for cuts and scrapes and burns and bruises, because doesn't it always seem like our kids are just always running too fast and scraping their knees or touching that thing you told them, don't touch that, it's hot, it's going to burn you, and then they come in crying because they were just so curious to know, like, is it really going to burn me? So for cuts and scrapes, my best suggestion, especially if you are very new with oils and still wanting to dilute your children's oils, Owie is going to be your best friend. It is going to be so amazing for you to have with young kids, even teenagers. You can put it right on their cuts. It will help to it's almost like when you use Neosporin and it creates that glossy cover up to where it stops bleeding. My son stepped on a glass case and it just chops the top of his toe off, and Owie had its completely stopped bleeding by the time we got to the hospital. So that was super amazing. If you have older teenagers, or if you're like me and you've been using oils for almost 3 years now, helichrysum, and actually helichrysum is not like a hot oil or anything where you would have to dilute it. It's actually amazing. It's totally worth the money you can save up for it, because how often do your kids get seriously hurt where they would need a liquid stitch? But when you need it, that's something that you want to be there. You want that Owie to be there because that's going to really help to aid in the process of you not having to go to the hospital. For cuts and burns, I suggest the above two, obviously, and then for burns, mostly lavender. Lavender really works for so many things. It's so versatile. And it's really good for burns, like if your kid touches something hot, or sunburn if your kid gets sunburn during the summer, which my son is so pale and has tons of freckles like me. So he is, if we don't use the Young Living sunscreen 2 times, he gets burnt all under his eyes. So that is our go-to is lavender. Also, you could, if you don't have those oils on hand, like helichrysum and Owie would help to keep it clean. Lavender is also antiseptic. You could spray some colloidal silver on there before you put your oils on. That definitely will help to keep it cleaned out. And then if you have kids who are rough and tumble in their sports and they're getting tackled and sliding into first base, or, all those things that teenage mamas are dealing with. If your kids can take a capsule, they can take Panaway, Copaiba, frankincense, or I'm sorry, they can take copaiba, frankincense, and Idaho blue spruce in the capsule and then rub Panaway on topically. It's what we call like a morphine balm, and it is amazing. It will totally take your kids' pains away, especially those sports mamas. So just make sure if they are taking capsules that they're drinking a good big glass of water afterwards. All right. So belly troubles. I know that as a mom of two babies under 3, my son's biggest complaint is always that his belly hurts, whether it's just that he really wants to get out of bed or if it's that he is a little bit constipated, and sometimes seems like you can't really reason with them at that age, and you can't just tell them, I know it hurts, but just try to push. So putting that tummy jize on their belly will like instantly help him to be able to go, or even just to pass gas. If it's just like a gas bubble that's trapped and hurting him, he can't really explain that to me. He just knows that his belly hurts. So tummy jize for your young babies. I will also put DiGize on my kids. I don't think it's considered a hot oil, which would mean needs dilution. But if you'd rather have a already pre-diluted roll-on, tummy jize roll-on is very affordable. And my kids and my husband love the tummy jize roll-on. They both use it all the time. We keep it in our bathrooms. That way, if they're having any tummy issues, they can just roll it right on. And then if your kids are not going regularly, and they feel like they might need like a gut reset, I would suggest putting them on the Mighty Pro. It literally is like a pixie stick, and my kids absolutely love it. You can just pour it right in their mouth, or if they're going to drink all of their water, you could pour it in some water and have them drink it down like that. And then I suggest, if they're not regular or if they have to go poop, to add some vitamin C chewables. You could do 1 or 2 to help them to get going, because vitamin C is really good for that. All right, sleepy time, which I can hear my kids fooling around right now. They know that I'm on a business call, so it's like they know that they're going to get a little bit of extra time out of that strict bedtime. And normally we do like brush our teeth with our Young Living toothpaste, and then we put oils on. All of these oils are super good. If you're just starting out, like I said, they have already pre-diluted oils, or you can just take a little glob in your hand, drop a drop of oil on, rub it together, put it on your kids' shoulders and chest, and just let them breathe in that oil. For me, lavender and cedarwood, they put me to bed instantly, and those are like my night oils. But there's tons of options. Also, if I know that my kids have had like a very wild day, or I feel like they're not settling down, I'll pour an Unwind pouch into their probiotic before they eat it. And then I just kind of shake it up, and they can have an Unwind pouch like maybe 30 minutes before bed. And that really helps them to settle down. And then obviously just making sure they're super active throughout the day so that they're tired when they go to bed, having that good routine. All right, monster spray. So I don't know if your kids are like too old for this, or if your kids are like mine, where I don't know where they get it from, but all of a sudden they're just, scared of something in their room. They might have had a bad dream, or somebody told them about a monster or something. And you just have to pull out that, spray that's going to give them all the courage and spray down their room. Dawson absolutely loved this when he went through like a little monster phase. He loved when I would spray his room down with this monster spray. I would go full action and just ninja into his closet and spray everything down. And he thought it was so funny, and he just wanted to spray those monsters away. So Valor, lavender, and Kid Power. You can add 10 drops of each in a glass spray bottle with water, and then just make sure you add a little bit of either witch hazel or some alcohol in there so that the oils will bind to it, and it's easier to shake it up, and you can spray their bed down. It'll be really good because it'll help them sleep good. It'll smell good in their room. They're breathing in all those good essential oil molecules, and they'll feel powerful in their own space, and they don't have to be scared of anything because their oils will take over all the monsters in their room. We are having a glitch. Okay, wait. There it goes. Okay, focus. Thank you guys for holding on with me. My slide would not switch. So, like I mentioned earlier, the Unwind pouches, they're not like a melatonin or like a sleeping medicine where it would make you fall asleep. It just kind of helps your body to relax. It has magnesium in it, so it helps your body to just kind of, like it says, unwind. So, if your child is wired and has, ADHD or is just a little bit on the hyper side, has that trouble focusing. I know a lot of boys this day and age are diagnosed with ADHD, and it's so amazing that we have these oils and supplements that can really truly support their bodies naturally, because boys and girls are just not meant to sit all day long and focus. And so I think that we have these tools that can help them really kind of get their focus in gear. An Unwind packet, frankincense, brain power, common sense, all those oils on their chest, on their temples so they can breathe them in, and then vetiver. If you're part of our Savvy Oiler Club, I suggest you go in right now and type ADHD into the top search bar, and you can look up an amazing study on vetiver and ADHD. It shows tons of stats. If you like sciencey stuff, you can read through all of the different stats on there and see how good vetiver works for ADHD. It is a very strong woodsy smell to me, and I think that just like causes your brain to very much focus on that smell, and it's really good for ADHD. I really like the smell of that oil too. Okay. Boys with big emotions, or like I said, kids in general. My son seems to have like the biggest emotions. I never really knew you could ruin somebody's day over the color of their cup or the color of their bowl, or, just the smallest things. And I have to really tiptoe around his emotions because he is very, very emotional. One of my apps, I have a bunch of suggestions on here because everybody's bodies are different and everybody's bodies react differently. But for me, my biggest oil that I have noticed a change in Dawson's emotions when I use it is Sarah. It's very affordable. It's under $30. And I use it for like, if he is just straight up having like a meltdown, I'm like, okay, you need to breathe in some Sarah because you're acting ridiculous. That is like my go-to oil. Another couple good ones are Kid Power, Valor, Stress Away, Peace and Calming, White Angelica, and Palo Santo. I think they have kind of like a similar, very grounding smell. And then if your kid doesn't have a fit about like tasting the oils, some frankincense under their tongue will totally ground them very quickly. It grounds me super quickly as well. I've also noticed, and this Lisa has taught me this, and it's been helping me with my daughter who is very boisterous, is just kind of keeping my tone lower than hers and not getting like so aggravated and worked up with her. And that's been helping us a lot. A lot of times I have to put aside my frustration when my son is, freaking out over what to me seems so stupid, but to him is really such a big deal, and just try to like meet him at his playing field and just hug him and make him smell some oils and kind of calm myself down at the same time. So that's been a challenge for all of us, but I'm glad that I can also smell the oils and change my thinking as I'm helping him to calm down as well. All right. Oh, did it skip one? Nope. Okay. So if you are not already a member, this is amazing because we used to say, get started with one of these starter bundles, which I still strongly suggest. And I think anybody that's invited you to this call will still strongly suggest one of these starter bundles because you're truly not going to get this good of a deal making your own bundle. You're really just not. These bundles are so heavily discounted. I'm so thankful that the girl who signed me up suggested the bundle that I got. It was such an amazing way to start. But if you are on here and you're like, I think I just need like a cup, I think I need some Unwind, some vetiver, and some Kid Power. And I'm like, okay, let's get you started with those 3 oils. If you make it to $100, you're automatically locked in to get that 24% off and get your what we call a membership. And then you can order monthly or every 2 months, every 3 months on a subscription. And you can order stuff to start ditching and switching your house or just to start with your kids. I know a lot of my mom friends are like, I don't want to dive completely in right this minute, but I really want to get oils for my kids. And I'm like, okay, that's perfect. Why don't you get the little oilers kit, and then we'll start figuring out other oils that you can use on your kids, that for specific needs in your home. So you can see over here, there are all the bundles that are offered. Ningxia Red is an amazing drink for adults and children. If your children have allergies, this Haven bundle would be amazing for them because they can use the allergy trio. And then there's the Peace and Calming, which is like a little treat for mama. Like you can make them their little allergy balm, and then you can keep the Peace and Calming. The Thieves bundle is amazing. I know it's technically wouldn't be for your children, but it would be bettering their what they're inhaling while you're cleaning the house. And it would be amazing because they could help you to clean the house as well. And you not have to worry about them getting into any toxic cleaning products. The Premium Starter Kit, which is my absolute favorite starter kit. It is one of the highest ones, but it includes 12 oils, a diffuser, some Ningxia, and some hand sanitizer. And that, to me, is the best deal. But if you're specifically looking for your kids, this little Oilers starter bundle is an amazing price. And Feather the Owl diffuser is adorable. It plays music, and my son wants fish music on every night because it plays the water sound and he thinks it's somebody's fishing. So any of the way that you wanted to get started, reach out to the person that invited you and you can get started with them. It's super easy, and you will never be left alone when you sign up. You will get a welcome letter from us, and you will get invited into the Savvy Oiler Club, where we do these calls every Tuesday night, and you can join in on all of our fun. And we look forward to having you.